Hello, and welcome to the Braincell webcast, How to Improve User Adoption and Boost Sales with CTI. My name is Ali Lippman, and I will be the co-presenter for today's event. Before we begin, I would like to review a few housekeeping items for this session. Our presentation will last approximately 45 minutes with some times for questions at the end. This is a live presentation through GoToWebinar, and due to the number of people on the call, you may experience a slight delay when we click between slides. All phone lines will be muted today during this event to cut down on background noise, but we do welcome your questions. To submit a question at any point during the presentation, please type it into the chat field on the lower right side of your screen. We will attempt to answer as many questions as possible. If we do not have a chance to answer your question, we will follow up with you via email. Also, a recorded version of this presentation will be available in a few days, and we will send all registrants an email with a link to replay. Great, let's get started. Braincell, as you may know, was founded in 1994. We are located just north of Boston and have 25 years of expertise in all things business technology. We help businesses love software and craft winning strategy leveraged by best-of-breed technology, specializing in CRM, ERP, marketing automation, support, and consulting services. We offer a collaborative and unbiased approach to business tech. We are partnered with Salesforce, Infor CRM, HubSpot, Sugar CRM, and Zendesk. We've been a Sugar CRM Elite Partner for 10 years. As I said before, my name is Ali Lippman. I am the Customer Success Manager here at Braincell, but I would also like to introduce my co-hosts. I am joined by Alex Gonzalez, who's the CEO of ActivePBX and co-founder. He's been in the telecommunications arena for over 15 years and has been a pioneer of the internet since a very young age when he co-founded an ISP and hosting company back in 1996 during the dot-com boom era. I'm also joined by William Jaramillo, the Director of Partner Development at ActivePBX. William has over 18 years of providing solutions in the enterprise software, contact center, and telecommunications industries. So glad to have you guys with us. Let's run through the agenda really quick. First, we're going to talk about what CTI is. Then we're going to talk about a CRM-friendly cloud telephony, give you a user story, show you a demo of how it all works, and take your questions at the end. So to kick it off, CTI, what is it? Computer Telephony Integration, or CTI, is an umbrella term for any technology that integrates interactions on a telephone and a computer. Some of the behavior of CTI is pop-up caller ID, voice recording, click-to-dial, call center management, 360-degree customer views, and advanced analytics. Companies that implement CTI see improved lead response time. So in a 2018 study published by the Harvard Business Review, only 10% of B2B companies registered a lead response time of 5 minutes or less. When a lead has to wait longer than 5 minutes for their first interaction, lead qualification drops significantly, and your chance to get a lead qualified further drops a drastic 400% when you make contact at 10 minutes. So improving this time is crucial. Businesses also saw increased productivity. Users save time with click-to-dial, automatic call logging, archiving call notes, eliminating manual processes, and more. Increased call accuracy with click-to-dial. Improved adoption of your CRM. CTI can integrate with your CRM to monitor and measure key performance indicators, including drop call percentages, call duration, and first call resolution. CTI also makes easier the logging of call notes into the CRM. With call logging, managers and agents have real-time access to key information, including duration, history, and possible other connections. Companies also saw improved collaboration. View of the customer means that you don't have to walk down the hall to understand all aspects of what's happening in the relationship. Increased customer satisfaction. Everyone cares about that. This comes from continuity of care and quicker resolution of support issues due to the time saved in getting up to speed on your accounts. And reduced cost. You have less bodies making more phone calls. Also, choosing an end-to-end solution like the one we're about to show you means that you have a best-of-breed phone system and CTI all under one bill. This provides savings over keeping those two systems separate. At Braincell, we don't believe that software is one size fits all. We partner with our customers on their specific software needs, and so does ActivePBX, working with all of the solutions seen here and more for your CRM-friendly telephony needs. So with that in mind, how can telephony integrated with your tech benefit your business? For this, I'll hand it over to William.
Ali, thank you so much for the introduction and the overview. We'll just jump right into it and talk about how the CTI solutions eliminate the barriers. We hear a lot of supervisors in the contact center space specifically tell us, that agents have problems flipping through different screens, and they have problems in taking notes, remembering to do it. They get frustrated with it. I wanted to ask Alex, how does ActivePBX's solutions eliminate the barriers for the agents so they could be more involved with the CRM?
Sure, I'd love to share that. Hi, everyone, and thanks for the warm welcome. So one of the biggest complaints that supervisors and managers have are that a lot of the notes are not being taken. They have this fancy CRM with all the capabilities, but at the end of the day, when a phone call comes in, it's very difficult for an agent to juggle that call, juggle through various screens in the CRM, take notes, create follow-ups, and do things like that, right? So what we do is we empower the users. First of all, we give them instant visibility to who the contact is, whether it's for sales purposes or customer service. You immediately can see who is calling, and if it's not matched up to a particular contact, you have the ability to quickly match it up. What this lends itself to is the ability to see some of the recent activity. It could be email, call activity, anything that's in the CRM, you'd be able to have visibility to, and you can quickly see and link to the organization associated to the caller. That's really valuable because it saves a lot of time. Rather than putting someone on hold, you can quickly jump right into the actual contact and account. Once you have that open, which, by the way, you do not even have to have the actual CRM open. Let's say you're navigating Google, LinkedIn, or doing research on this particular contact or company, you'll still see this as a persistent pop-up inside the browser. So once it pops up, as you can see here on the slide, you'd be able to take notes very easily rather than having to navigate through that CRM screen to do it. And on that same screen, on a user-friendly UI, you'll have other options like creating follow-ups. One of the most important things in sales, for example, is to always set a follow-up, right? So if you have a call and you're juggling various calls throughout the day, it may slip your mind or it may make it difficult to jump through various screens to create those follow-ups. But by having this ability right in the user interface, it makes it very easy, essentially getting rid of all the excuses, the common excuses that agents make, by just making it much easier. Along with that, you'd be able to set things like call dispositions. So what was the nature of the call? What was the outcome? And the nice thing about the call dispositions is that they're actually dynamically pulled from the CRM. So if you create custom pick lists that are related to the call dispositions or things that you want to log, like let's say a lead source or something of that nature to track campaigns, you'll actually see the list of call dispositions on each pop-up, and you can select those, which would then populate the CRM. What does this translate to? Over time, you're refining the data in your CRM. So every time a call comes in or you make an outbound call, you have the ability to improve the information in the CRM. So if you find incorrect information, you can correct it. Or if you're just adding to that particular contact's activity, you can continue to refine that data, which obviously knowledge is power. So over time, you'll notice that the data inside the CRM will just get better and better. So I'll go ahead and hand it back to William. Thank you for that.
Excellent, Alex. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Moving over to the next topic is all the valuable activities that are important to capture in the contact center. Emails are easy to capture because they come into the system. But what about other activities, other interactions? How does ActivePBX help capture other activities and interactions that are important to the contact center, Alex?
Right. So I'll go ahead and elaborate on that. Everything has been moving to the cloud, and now it's a lot more relevant. So many applications started on-premise, just like phone systems, and many systems and many applications ran on on-site servers. But now with the shift to the cloud, email already mostly being in the cloud, that essentially requires the phone system to be in the cloud. And so ActivePBX, our platform, is fully cloud-based. And what that allows is that we can connect with various CRM platforms through API connectivity. And so we're in the same environment per se. So email is typically logged already to most CRMs by using some kind of a BCC function or a plugin that would automatically log that activity into the CRM. But many times the call activity is actually not being logged. This could be due to a legacy phone system that doesn't have that interop or connection to some of the cloud-based applications like the CRM. But we actually act as what I would call like a middleware. So essentially all the phone calls coming in and out would query the CRM. They would try to match it up. If they do match, they're automatically logged. If they're not logged, then we would actually give the user the opportunity to match that up. By doing that, we also add the ability to attach call recordings to those activity records. And that lends itself to training and quality assurance, right? And as opposed to contacting, let's say, your IT administrator and waiting a week to get some of those call recordings and still having no direct reference to the activity record inside the CRM, this would actually display the call recordings and allow you to listen to them right from the CRM alongside the activity records that belong to a contact or an account record. So by combining all this call activity with the CRM, you essentially complete the circle. It gives you a full 360-degree view of all the activity coming in and out of the CRM, not just email, but all the call activity as well, which is very, very important for any contact center. So thank you for that, and I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and jump to the next slide here.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Alex. So now that agents' barriers are removed, and now that all the activities are inside the CRM, what does a business do with all of this information now? You know, what type of important action can a business take by having all this information now, Alex?
Right, and that's most would probably wonder what all this data translates to. Like, what does it mean to their business? What does it mean to sales and support? And so having all this data is extremely powerful, right? But they say knowledge is power, but action is king. So now you can actually take action with all this data, and you can leverage that. You know, some of the things you're able to do are improve customer satisfaction. By knowing more about the caller, whether it's for sales purposes or support, you can improve customer satisfaction because you're going to reduce the time that it takes to service that person, right? You can even go as far as dynamically routing calls. So now we have a new skill-based routing or intelligent routing feature that would allow us to actually query the CRM for information and point those callers to the correct groups or departments. So that would eliminate the issue where you have callers bouncing around an IVR, getting stuck on hold, and potentially even hanging up and never calling back. That also leads to shorter sales cycles. If you have more information readily available at your fingertips, well, you can actually address that customer's questions much faster or make sure that it actually got routed to the correct department. And as far as support and help desk goes, this would lead to first call resolutions. So if you had a caller get to the wrong department and they were put on hold and they were bounced around, this could result in a second or third call, which leads to higher expenses. So this definitely helps. By having this data and leveraging it, it would lead to better and faster sales cycles, as well as faster resolutions of support inquiries. So we'll go ahead and jump to the next slide here. So this data also allows you to make critical business decisions. For example, if you have a peak time, let's say 2 p.m. on a Wednesday is a peak time for some reason, and you could look at this data and make decisions on staffing and scheduling your team, well, that's going to help you improve customer satisfaction. There'll be less callers in queue, less callers on hold, things of that nature. So you can optimize your staff with this data. If you're doing sales-related functions or telemarketing campaigns, and you're doing outbound campaigns, which, by the way, our system would allow you to click through lead lists or prospects and quickly breeze through a list while adding notes. Well, you can also see, like as you see on that graph, you can see the connect rates. So it's possible that certain days of the week or times of the day are actually higher probability of connect rates. So you can schedule those telemarketing campaigns to be more optimal and more effective. Aside from that, if you have access to the call recordings, well, you can have those for easy reference and use those for training purposes. So at the end of the day, that's going to help improve your whole organization and allow you to make better decisions. So we'll go ahead and jump to the next slide now.
All right, guys, thanks so much. So now I want to talk about a particular user story for a Braincell customer. Alternative Utility Services, a provider of energy and consultation services, came to Braincell 2 years ago with a challenge. They were unable to plan for growth in their customer service and inside sales teams without being able to analyze activity data. They knew that they needed calls logged automatically to understand the state of their sales and service teams, how customers were being serviced, and how to plan for future hires. In addition, they had to get out of their desks to communicate with other departments on customer matters. So ActivePBX and Braincell helped them by providing a telephony solution that integrated directly with their CRM for automatic call loggings. In this case, it was Sugar CRM, and provided excellent analytics within the CRM and within the ActivePBX user interface. It improved the efficiency of sales and service teams by providing a customer view while logging call notes, all without having to log into the CRM. Furthermore, it facilitated collaboration with other departments and allowed them to plan for future growth in these departments. They were onboarded quickly and received best-in-class customer service with CTI and telephony all under one bill. To talk a little bit more about how ActivePBX helps realize the vision of customers like AUS, I'm going to hand it back to William.
Thank you, Ali. I appreciate that. So yes, how we are able to help the customers is with our platform. Our platform has a versatility with the APIs, which is how we hook up to the different CRMs. In this case, it was the Sugar CRM. So being able to hook into through the APIs with this Sugar CRM allows us to target the things that are important to each business. In this case, the call data embedded, within the Sugar CRM, easy access to it, like Alex was explaining, able to make decisions based on that data is important and is key. And Sugar CRM is an excellent CRM that lends itself very nicely to do that. We are also able to do it with other CRMs because we are CRM agnostic. Again, back to the platform and the ability to have everything under one roof, the telephony, the APIs and the CTI to embed to it, and the contact center functionality really offers versatility to what's important to the customer. Now the customer has a vision, not only for now that they're able to resolve the problems that Ali explained In the future, they want to be able to bring the mobile sales force into the fold. In other words, to participate with the Sugar CRM. So if they're in the sales field or they're working mobile out of their homes, they could still make calls from their Android or from their iOS or from their tablet or from their laptop or at-home PC and make calls like the applications that you see on the right-hand side from the actual computer or from the mobile phone. So when calls come in and out, they're able to log those calls because the calls are automatically logged. And if they're out in the field, they're able to reconcile once they get back to their home office or to their hotel or to their desk in the actual office. They're able to reconcile what calls were missed. They're able to share information inside the CRM when they were actually at the customer site and add notes to it because everything gets logged and recorded that calls came in or calls went out from the actual CRM. So from the beginning to the middle to the future, the ActivePBX platform is able to help customers for now and in the future. Moving over to the next slide, please. Another thing is that what's important not only to this customer, but to all customers is no downtime when they're switching from one platform to the other. So the migration path, we outline it for every single customer. This is the common denominator that everybody wants to see. How are you going to do it? How is it going to look like in day one? How is it going to look like in day two? So this happens in days and weeks, not in months. Time sensitivity is important to our customers, is important to us, and having the telephony platform, having the CTI already tweaked and fine-tuned, and having the contact center solutions all embedded in one allows us to provide a customer with a Gantt chart customized for their implementation and then take advantage of all the pre-configured essentials that are already fine-tuned, and really you don't have to roll the dice and say, wow, I hope that our CTI is compatible with the version that whatever this vendor, telephony vendor has today. No, ours is already in sync. Our onboarding team already has all the 25 points that they need to check off in order to move forward to the next step and provide a customer an exact time frame and have a successful implementation, giving us the results of a successful customer implementation for now and for the future. Moving over to the next slide, please. Now we are able to show you guys exactly how it is that in a demo, how is it that Sugar and our telephony platform interact together. This is a demo which will show you an outbound call, an inbound call, and the actual pop-up screen and where you could take these notes. Mind you, this is a demo of how it would work, but we could customize demos also for you guys depending on what your needs are. That's one of our strongholds, is because our platform is so versatile, we could actually do call flows and create a demo customized for you guys. But this is what it would look like. And then in the future, if any of you want a demo to be done customized to your needs, we could customize and tailor one with the call flow that you would require. But for now, Alex, would you kindly show us how it is that we do a demo with Sugar CRM and ActivePBX?
Sure. Let me, thanks for that transition there. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So here I have Sugar CRM open. If you notice, I can actually be on different screens here, and the pop-up here at the bottom right is persistent across all of them. So I don't necessarily have to be in Sugar, but I will be just for the purposes of the demo. So I'm going to show an inbound call here, and if you give me a moment, I'm just dialing in from my mobile. All right. So if you notice here, it basically matched up two different records, one being the account, because the number is associated to both the account and the contact and my contact. So I'll go ahead and select the correct one. If I needed to, I can actually search for others. It gives me that ability. So I'll go ahead and choose the contact. So here it showed the duration of the call. It was brief because I just hung it up just for testing purposes. I don't currently have activities showing here, but if there were activities, I'd be able to actually scroll through them. So any recent emails or calls that were made to this particular record would show up there. Actually, they're showing up now. I just added one here. So you can actually see what happened 20 days ago, 7 months ago. So that gives you instant visibility right at your fingertips. And again, I haven't even touched the CRM. This is all happening in this user-friendly UI. So I can go ahead and take notes here, like this is a test. And most importantly, let's say I was going to actually follow up, which I always suggest having a follow-up to every note that you take. You would say follow up tomorrow, and automatically a follow-up task would be created. If I put next week, it would actually create it next week or next month even, right? So it has natural language detection. And if I wanted to actually CC someone within my team so they get this note, I can actually add that as well. So now you have several things happening in one pass here through this user-friendly UI, and I have not even touched the CRM. So we matched up the record. We logged the call, the duration, whether it was inbound or outbound. In this case, it was inbound. I'm able to take notes. I'm able to create a follow-up and CC someone within my team, which will receive an email with a link to this record and the activity associated to it. Now I have call dispositions, which are dynamically pulled from the CRM. These are specific to this demo, but if, let's say, you were in the roofing industry, you can have something relevant to that. So in this case, I'll just go ahead and pick some of these options. And again, these are dynamically pulled. So if there were cases or opportunities associated, they would also show up here and allow you to associate this data or this activity to those, or you can actually create a new one as needed. So that's a lot of stuff you can do here in one pass per se. And going back to what we said earlier, many agents will make the excuses that it's too difficult to take notes or create follow-ups because they're juggling phone calls. Well, this actually makes it very easy. And even if you went and browsed around the web, this would be persistent and follow you in the browser. So it really eliminates those barriers and empowers the user so that you can truly capture all of this call activity and data related to the interactions. So I'm going to go ahead and this pretty much covers the flow for inbound and outbound. It's exactly the same on inbound or outbound. It would just log it as an outbound call as opposed to inbound, but you get all the same features and functionality for logging information, creating follow-ups, and whatnot. So let's just say you had a list of leads in your CRM in a report, let's say, or a view. You'd be able to click to call and click down that list, and every time you made a call, this would actually pop up and give you the ability to take notes and log the activity related to that particular contact. So I'm going to actually show you something here that's pretty interesting. It's one of our latest features. It's very innovative. If you notice here, there's some additional fields on this particular account, VIP, yes or no, right? And you have some other fields that are relevant to this particular industry, which is credit card processing. And I'm going to actually show you how we built a call flow that routes the calls dynamically and intelligently based on data in the CRM. So in this particular case, you have a call coming in, and the first thing it checks when it matches the phone number to that account record is whether it's a VIP account or not. So if it's not VIP, then it actually follows this route and it makes determinations into what group it goes to, essentially the call queue. So I'm going to go ahead and dial in here, if you don't mind. And 46. So I'm going to actually show you here inside the actual PBX how this particular call got routed, if you notice here, to other terminal. So based on the data inside the CRM, we actually determined it was not VIP and that it was this particular information here, and it routed it properly to the correct call queue. So rather than the user having to call in and choose the options through a very complex IVR menu to get all the way to this particular group of support techs, it actually routed them correctly and quickly without even playing a recording based on the data inside the CRM. So that's extremely powerful. And again, that improves things like shortening the sales cycles, and it lends itself to things like first call resolutions. So going a step further, let's say we removed and changed the VIP and we added it. So we made this actually a VIP client now. So let me just go ahead and select this here. So I made that change. Let's go VIP. Yes. So now that it's VIP, we can actually do things like detect who the actual person was who last dealt with this particular contact, right? And that, in this case, it's a portfolio manager, and they have extension 8072. So if I was to call in now, based on this call flow, it would actually detect that this caller is VIP, and then it would route them to the VIP work group, which then makes a determination on who the relationship or portfolio manager is. So if I go ahead and call there, and call again.
Thank you for calling VIP Portfolio Manager 2. Please leave a message or press.
So if you notice, and can you all hear that? Because it was playing off my mobile. It was basically routing to the Portfolio Manager 2, and it automatically routed it by me changing that information inside the CRM. So that pretty much concludes the demo. And like William said earlier, we can always cater a demo based on your needs and based on your industry. So that was actually a demo that we created for a prospect, and we won the deal because of that, because we were able to cater that demo and that workflow based on their particular needs. So thank you for that. And again, I believe Ali will be opening up for questions later, and we can go ahead and answer those.
Yeah, thanks so much, Alex. That was awesome. I love that workflow there. Really cool stuff. So now it is question time. Feel free to enter your questions in the box on the lower right-hand corner of your screen, and we will answer them for you. So I have a couple that are rolling in. Thanks, guys. So the first one that I have is this. It says, I have a traveling sales team. They often do sales calls while off-site. Can they work on their mobile devices and log calls? Well, I think, William, you spoke to that a little bit earlier, but do you want to just go over it again real quick?
Yes, absolutely. So, the ability to have a mobility in our solution is already included, as mentioned with this specific user case study. It's something they're going to implement next. But yes, if they have people that are remote, you are able to download an app either to the iOS or to the Android, or download it onto the actual laptop in which you're mobile, and you're able to place calls. You're able to do SMS, MMS messaging, and have it all be part of the actual call flow and keep a record inside of the CRM. So you're able to do that, you know, with a few people, a remote office, or specific individuals. Most certainly, yes.
And if you don't mind, I'll interject here as well to add to that. The beauty is that since all of this integration is happening server side, our platform gives you the ability to use multiple devices on your extension. So it could be a desk phone, it could be a desktop app, a mobile app. So regardless of how you're using the system, that call record is actually being passed to the CRM in the background. So if you're on the go, or you're working out of a hotel room, let's say at a trade show, or you're driving and you missed a call, well, when you finally get back to your desktop or your desk per se, you can see a list of the calls and you can reconcile those against the CRM.
Great, thank you. Okay, I have another question. This one says, what about if we have an existing PBX that we just installed? We are interested in this for call center only. Is that possible?
Sure, I could go ahead and take that one. Okay. It's very common that one of these a larger business has already made a significant investment into, let's say, a legacy phone system like the Cisco or an Avaya or whatnot, and they want to definitely continue to maximize that. And maybe not all the users in their organization are part of the contact center, but they want to definitely give them this CTI integration and allow them to leverage all of the functionality of the CRM. So with that, we're able to actually interop or integrate with our hybrid solution. So let's say you had 1,000 user organization, and 700 of those were admin users, and then only 300 were part of the contact center. Well, we can implement the end-to-end contact center solution that includes the CTI integration to the CRM for just the contact center, and we can interop with that legacy system so that you don't lose your investment and you can continue to leverage it. And that allows for 4-digit dialing across extensions that are on both systems. You can also do things like routing the calls to and from the old and new system. So essentially it allows you to leverage that investment and still keep it while giving some innovation to your contact center.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. So I have one final question, and I think this might have been spoken to, but maybe one of you can answer again. Can you do skills-based routing?
Yes, skills-based routing, and we could even take it a level deeper. For example, there's a group that speaks English, a group that speaks French, and a group that speaks Spanish. You could route according to those skills. But as Alex had shown in the demo, if there are fields within the CRM, we could take the skills-based routing to skills-based routing with intelligence, meaning we could determine what criteria the actual caller has and route the calls based on the criteria to match the fields in the CRM. So it does a database dip, realizes that this is a VIP, a gold customer, a silver customer, or a bronze customer that needs to be matched up with a gold, customer service agent. And then it goes straight to them without having to press any buttons or having to, ask somebody to be routed, without having to give their account number or social security number, sensitive information, especially if they're driving. Someone who a company values as a VIP customer then could have someone driving on their mobile phone and call in and not have to be pressing different numbers while they're driving or even be bothered with it. They're recognized as somebody that, for example, generates X number of dollars per year, and that's a VIP customer. So yeah, we do skills-based routing, but we take it to another level with intelligent-based routing, and it can be done with the APIs that we have on our platform that allows us to integrate with Sugar CRM or any of the major CRM solutions out in the marketplace. So yes.
And, wow. And William, I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to add to that. Some of the value we bring is that we help make these decisions and determinations. So we do a full assessment to determine ways that we can improve that IVR workflow, and then we can build a custom application based on rules that are relevant to your particular industry or your organization. So as William said, yes, this is a bit further and a bit more than just skills-based routing. This is more like intelligent and dynamic routing per se, and it's using the data inside the CRM as opposed to just static information that you set up in the PBX.
Thanks, guys. That's some serious customer service. Pretty exciting stuff. All right, so we have a special offer for all of you on the line today. We would like to offer a free consultation on your current CRM and telephony environment. All you have to do is write the email address you see there, or even better, we'll take a little poll right now just to gauge interest, and I will reach out to you personally. So I'm going to launch this poll, and go ahead, you should see this. All right. Thank you all so much. So for those of you who responded, we will be reaching out. And we thank you for attending our webinar today. For more information, you can reach out to sales@braincell.net. Call the number that you see here. And please follow us on Twitter @Braincell. And thank you to my co-presenters as well, Alex and William. It was great to have you on.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, and thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Have a great day.